Hey, how's it going? I'm Yoon. I'm the founder of Outdoor Media Summit,
And I'm Kenji. I run business development for Outdoor Media Summit.
and we're going to tell you a little bit about why you should be attending OMS. I usually start with a 4-point high-level overview of the event. We go through the history, audience, format, and schedule. So let's start with the history. So OMS started in 2014 in Jackson Hole. Second show was in Jackson Hole. Then we went to Bentonville, Arkansas, then Roanoke, Virginia, then Estes Park, and North Lake Tahoe in 22. In terms of the audience, so we're roughly 60-40 media to brands. On the media side, we've had the editor-in-chiefs of Backpacker Magazine, Gear Junkie, Wirecutter, Outside Business Journal. We've had Seth Spycax come out. We've had editors from the New York Times, Wired, Women's Health, Men's Journal, as well as one-off podcasters and vloggers and bloggers, and you kind of get the idea on that.
And on the brand side, we've had the head of marketing and marketing teams coming from Patagonia, REI, Keen, Danner, Sog Knives, Cotopaxi, GoPro, Camp Chef, BOA, Mountain Smith, Kinko Gloves. You get the idea.
Yeah, and when you put those folks in a room together, you got marketing folks and VIP media, and you put them in a conference, a lot of magic tends to happen. In terms of the format, so this is an education conference, not a trade show.
Yeah, not so much booths and aisles, but think of breakout sessions and keynotes.
That's right. Yeah, and then in terms of the schedule, so the event is a 2.5-day, conference. The first half day is the opening night reception. We usually do some kind of speed date game or some kind of icebreaker, but that way you can ID who you want to follow up with through the rest of the conference. You can do it pretty early on. So that's the first half day is we dedicate for the opening night reception. Then day 2, we start off with Breakfast with Brands, which is a pretty cool program that we have. We'll go into that in a little more detail later. And then we go into the morning keynote. And then after that, we're going to breakout sessions. So we'll usually have 3 tracks. Breakout sessions will be an hour, so like 10 to 11 breakout sessions, 11 to 12 breakout sessions. And then we do our lunch keynote. And then go back into breakout sessions, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. And then we do the Scavenger Hunt. So Scavenger Hunt is kind of the marquee event of Outdoor Media Summit. We'll talk about that in a little bit too. And then day 3, same thing. Instead of a keynote in the morning, we'll do a group activity, breakout sessions, and then we'll do Outdoor Media Awards.
Outdoor Media Awards are the premier recognition for top media throughout the greater outdoor recreation industry, recognizing top editors and stories of the past year.
That's right. And then after that, the conference is over. We used to do some kind of post-event hike. Each destination has some kind of iconic outdoor activity, and we'll go do that together as a group, and then we're done.
Now that you have an overview of the event, let's dive deeper into some of the things that make Outdoor Media Summit really special, like Breakfast with Brands, the opening night reception, the Scavenger Hunt and reception, and the Outdoor Media Awards.
Yeah, let's start with Breakfast with Brands. So Breakfast with Brands is a cool way to do breakfast at a conference. So I don't know if you relate to this, but I feel like a lot of people have gone to conferences where there's a breakfast buffet, and you grab your food and you put it on your plate, and you walk into a pretty big sized room with tables, and there's table around. Some tables there's people there, some tables there's not, and you have to make a decision. Do I go interrupt those people, or but what if I'm intruding? Should I go sit over there by myself? But what if I'm alone, and what if I die alone? And that's some pretty heavy stuff for a conference. So we just take all that awkwardness out. So basically you walk in and you're like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go sit at the Patagonia table. Or you say, oh, you know what? I've never heard of that brand, but they've got really cool swag. I'm going to go sit over there. So that's Breakfast with Brands in a nutshell. Let's talk about the breakout sessions.
Yeah, so breakout sessions are not just any old education session slapped together by folks that don't care. Yoon himself actually looks at every single slide of every presentation and makes sure that the presenter and the topic are delivering takeaways to the attendees, tangible things that they can do to improve their business, whether they're a media person or a brand marketer. And that's very different than seeing a stand and deliver presentation that's just a sales pitch, or kind of a boring just get through it sort of education slot.
That's right, yeah. And so in all of the speaker agreements, we have a little checkbox that says, I agree to give up my secrets. And that's how we built our reputation is, you go into a session titled, how to get 100K followers on Instagram, and you'll go in there and they'll literally show you how they do it. They'll show you where they click, what strategies they use. And then you walk out of that session, you're like, now I know how to get 100K followers on Instagram.
And this is why he never lets me present at the Outdoor Media Summit. So the Outdoor Media Awards are the preeminent awards in the outdoor industry, recognizing media for greatness over the past year in lots of different categories, like best editor or best blog or best topic around diversity and inclusion.
That's right. And there's actually 3 components to Outdoor Media Awards. So we have a People's Choice component, which is a voting component. There's a Judge's Choice component, which is we have a panel of top media that we decide who wrote the best stories and who is going to get lifetime achievement and those kind of awards. And the third category is the Sponsors Choice Awards. So we have typically we'll have 5 different Sponsors Choice or 3 Sponsors Choice, and the sponsor can pick who they want as their award recipient. So that's a little bit about the Outdoor Media Awards, and then we can probably talk a little bit about Scavenger Hunt. So you got some thoughts on Scavenger Hunt?
Well, I think it is the banner event of Outdoor Media Summit. Sure. It's the thing people look forward to. It's the place where brands activate and there's an actual experience outdoors, next to the water or out on a trail where brands come to life, and it's their products and it's the gamification or activation of these top media coming and having to post and having to face these high intellect challenges that are designed for them and make it fun, but also really productive for the brands who get to be in these activation stations, we call them.
That's right. And the way that we structure it is it's a very highly organized but chaotic event where all the attendees split up into teams and they're hitting all these stations. So there'll be like 16 stations and 16 teams. And we create this very highly organized system where everyone is rotating, and so teams don't pile up at one station. But at the same time, everyone's kind of reading the instructions and running around town and doing these high intelligence activities, and so it gets very chaotic. But it's also a great time. You're in a small group, and I've seen a lot of folks that they met during the Scavenger Hunt, 6 years ago, and now they're doing business together, or they're like best buds in the industry because they were on the same team in the Scavenger Hunt. So a lot of magic happens in these kind of small group events. Scavenger Hunt is one of those that we hear a lot of cool stories about, people meeting later on. And now that we've gone through the show in some detail, we'd love to share some reasons on why you should be at Outdoor Media Summit this year.
But don't take our word for it. Listen to what our previous attendees have to say.
Compared to other conferences, I really love the Outdoor Media Summit, not just because of the great speakers that you had and some of the remarkable brands that were there, but the opportunity to actually get out into the community and experience the outdoors. You really just don't get that at other conferences.
I think the best part of Outdoor Media Summit last year was the level of community engagement that was executed. It was really to a level that exceeded my expectations. I expected to have a good time, but I went away feeling like I got so much more than a conference. I actually made friends, and I have networking opportunities now that I didn't think I would ever have.
My favorite part about OMS is being able to connect with media partners in a more meaningful and different way than being at trade shows. It's a much more relaxed environment, giving you the opportunity to create long-lasting partnerships that could benefit your brands.
Hey, I'm Ryan Spinks with Quiet Cat Mountain Bikes in Eagle, Colorado. The Outdoor Media Summit was a fantastic event with 2 days of seminars, networking, education, and of course, enjoying the great outdoors. The big highlight for us was the Scavenger Hunt, where we were able to set up and show off our products. We had a fun spin the wheel game for some prizes, and we even brought in some social media impressions to really show off the whole event.